What is up, guys? Daddy Butter here with another Mobile Legends tutorial video, and today we're going to be talking about some items, and we're going to get to the items. Wait, gear. All right, so we're going to be talking about movement items and the jungle items. They're both small categories, so we're going to do them together. This video is long overdue, so I do sincerely hope you guys like it. It's pretty straightforward. I'm assuming a fair amount of you already know, a decent amount about these items, but maybe there's something else. Maybe there's something that could be added to your knowledge, and so I am here for that service. So we're going to start with the movement items and warrior boots. 22 armor and 40 movement speed, and another passive on here, physical defense, will go up 3 with each basic attack received for an increase of up to 15 points lasting 3 seconds. Pretty straightforward. These are great boots against teams that are heavy on the physical damage. I see a lot of people building it on like ADC type characters or like marksmen. Not sure if that's necessarily my cup of tea. I would probably opt for the Swift boots, but that's just me. Not a bad choice, definitely good boots. But I would definitely use it more against teams that are heavy on the physical damage, or if they have someone carrying that does physical damage. Tough boots, 22 magic resist, 40 movement speed, and you increase your resilience 25%. Resilience is that stat that cuts down on the amount of time that you are CC'd. So stuns, slows, knockups, all that kind of stuff. 25% less time that you're in that state. Same thing as the warrior boots, but if they have a heavy magic team, or if you're seeing that someone on the other team is doing magic damage and is also having a really good game. So magic shoes, 10% cooldown reduction, 40 movement speed. So cooldown reduction, if you need it and you need another place to get it from, great place to go. It could be grouped with say Calamity Scythe. You see that this only gives you 10% cooldown reduction, so the boots could give you up to 20%, and then you could build something like Fleeting Time or Enchanted Talisman that also has 20%. That gets you up to 40%. So that's a good way of doing it. We got Arcane Boots, plus 25 magic damage reduction, 40 movement speed. Useless, I would say. I don't see a point to these, honestly. I wouldn't buy them. I think they're trash. Just my opinion. Basically, any magic damage you take, like if you take an ability from a mage, you're going to take 25 less damage. When they're doing like 600 damage or something, it doesn't matter. These boots are useless. Swift boots, 15% attack speed, 40% movement speed. Like I said before, if you need, if you're a marksman or some kind of an assassin that needs attack speed, it's a good way to go. I would say of the boots, I don't build boots very often. You guys know this about me, but Swift boots are a pretty decent option, and I'd probably go for them, in those situations. And then my favorite boots, rapid boots, very simple, very straightforward, 50 movement speed. I like these on, tanks and stuff when you need to, like, get into the other team a little quicker. They make you that much faster. So I do like rapid boots, but that's just what it is. Just a whole bunch of movement speed packed into these boots. So then let's jump into jungle items. The very first one, I would say this is the most common one that I see. Star Shard. 20 magic power, 400 mana, and 10% cooldown reduction. Again, 10% cooldown reduction could be grouped with the magic shoes to get you to that 20%. But anyway, plus 30% damage to monsters. And you get an extra 30% experience when jungling. And also, Warding Wind. Slaying jungle monsters increases one's movement speed 5%. Lasts 30 seconds. So this is a really I don't know how you want to say it, like, useful item. That extra 5% movement speed is pretty good, especially if you're coming out of the jungle trying to gank a lane. You take a camp, you got 30 seconds. That's a long time. So it's pretty good. Like I said, I see this one quite a bit, and I think it's pretty good. Something that we could definitely make use of. Beast Killer, 20 armor, 20 magic resistance, 30% extra damage to monsters, get an extra 30% XP, and slaying jungle monsters increases one's physical and magic defense 3, stacks up to 10 times. So that means that you can get an extra 30, so this would be 50 armor and 50 magic resist. If you're playing a tanky jungler, I don't see tanky junglers very often. Most junglers are, quick, kind of assassin-y type characters. But if that is what you're going for, yeah, this would be your item. But again, I don't see that. I really haven't seen like a tanky jungler. Not that it's not a good idea. I think it's actually a very good idea. But it's hard to get people to play tanks in this game for some reason. I think tanks are awesome, personally. We got a Raptor Machete, 35 physical attack, 12% attack speed, the same thing, 30% damage, 30% experience from monsters. Slaying jungle monsters increases your physical attack 6, stacks up to 10 times. So that's an extra 60 attack, so 95 physical attack and then 12% attack speed. So obviously potentially very, very strong. If you're jungling with like Yun Zhao or even like Fanny, this could definitely be very, very useful, and would be something that you want to take, obviously, for them. Having said that, even if I do jungle, I almost never build a jungle item, just because, like, you don't spend that much time in the jungle, or at least I don't when I jungle, and I really don't think that you should, because it's not like League of Legends where, it's a slow game and you got like a 15-minute laning phase. Like, you got 5 to 7 minutes of a laning phase, and you gotta make an impact or your team suffers. Chances are, if you're jungling, the other team like isn't. That's just how the current meta is. And so, one of your lanes is going to be shorthanded. So, I would say that in that way, while these items can be useful, I don't think that you're going to get to use them to their full potential. So, I've never built a jungle item. Correction, I did, like, when I first started playing, and I realized very quickly that they weren't very strong. So, that's just my opinion. I see people build them, and I don't think they're wrong for doing it. I don't think it's, like, dumb of them to do. My personal opinion is that there are better items to be used. Having said that, guys, I know this is a pretty short one, but that's pretty much it. I've done all the other categories, so I wanted to get this one out of the way. I've had people request it from me, so there you go. Pretty straightforward. These items, there's not as much thought that goes into them as, say, defense or the magic or the attack items. They're very, very straightforward. If you're doing magic damage, this is a good one. If you're a tank, this is a good one. If you're physical damage, that's a good one. And then, kind of just whatever you want out of these. And that's that's really what you want to do. Having said that, these ones I would just never build them. They're trash. They're poopy. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and I will be talking to you guys again real soon.